Hey girls, well done on your progress so far. So, you've experienced some body shape changes, some mindset changes, a big shift in lifestyle, you've built exercise into your life. But thinking about your longer term success, it would be great if you were to know what the carbohydrate content of the meals that you were going to be eating are and what that means for your longer term health. Because the higher the carbohydrate content, the higher your blood sugar is going to be, and the less chance you're going to be able to burn fat and keep the belly off. Everything that you're working towards, you do not want to undo. So here's an educational video on glycemic index and the glycemic load and what that even means for you. Okay, first things first, you're going to want to know what the glycemic index is. The glycemic index is a scale of how fast the food that you're eating spikes blood glucose levels. That's it. On the glycemic scale, 55 and below is deemed low, so pretty safe. 56 to 69 is medium, and 70 and above is deemed high. That would send your blood sugar level really high really quickly, so not good. Now, the glycemic load, on the other hand, is the quantity of carbohydrates in the foods that you're eating. On the glycemic load scale, 10 and below is low, 10 and 20 is medium, and 20 plus is high. So that's the duration, if you like. That's going to spike your blood sugar for longer periods of time, so it's not a spike and back down. So the glycemic load is the carbohydrate content of the food that you're eating, but the more carbs that's in it, the load is going to be higher and it's going to elevate your blood sugar for longer. Carrot, for example, has a glycemic index number or value of 72, but the glycemic load is only 3. So that's really good. It will send your blood sugar high, so it'll give you a spike, but it won't last because of the fibre that's in it. So it is carbohydrate, but because of the fibre that's in it, the carbs, the net carbs aren't much at all, so it won't send your blood sugar high for long. A potato, a white potato for example, has a glycemic index value of 110, massive, so definitely will spike your blood sugar level. And the glycemic load of a potato is 31, so it'll spike your blood sugar and therefore insulin, and it'll do it for a long period of time. So now that you know what the glycemic index is and you know what the glycemic load is, that's a tongue twister. We'll put some perspective on it for you now, okay? So I've got glycemic load values, glycemic index values, and some common foods, not that you would eat them, but some common ones, okay? So a Snickers bar, the glycemic index of a Snickers is 68, and the glycemic load is 23, so both very high on both indexes. Bread, 110 on the glycemic index, so sky high, and again, high glycemic load. So the carbohydrate content is very high, as you already know. A potato, 104 on the glycemic index, which is why you don't eat white potatoes. And glycemic load, 36, sky high. A carrot, 91 on the glycemic index, so the second highest on there, right? But glycemic load of 1. So there's the difference. The carbohydrate content, once you remove the fibre, is minimal. But it still will spike your blood sugar. This is to give you perspective, remember, on what foods cause a lasting blood sugar spike and maintain it, if you like. So not just up and down, but because of the carbohydrate content, it'll keep your blood sugar spiked. Corn, listen to this. Corn is a 55 score on the glycemic index, which is really high, and the glycemic load of 62, so it's more than double bread. So really want to be avoiding corn, and also because of the genetic modification around corn that we've already discussed. So there's some foods to give you a bit of perspective. Glycemic index and glycemic load are two different things, but it's important that you understand the concept of both. Right girls, I want you to be successful, and that means empowering you and giving you the knowledge that you need Now this glycemic index, glycemic load chart is about you to think longer term about what sort of food that you're actually eating, and if you were to regress, what the problem will be, what it'll cause your blood sugars to do, and the fact that it'll kick you out of fat burning. But not only that, it'll give you a whole host of different problems that you've not been experiencing on the programme since you've been on it. So why do it? Why compromise your health, compromise your choices, and compromise your state of mind, because they won't make you feel good. You maybe have say for example, a pizza once in a while, that's okay. But it's when it keeps going and it's a daily occurrence and you've got carbs in there, you've got rice in there, pastas, cereals, it's just not a good place to be. You know that because you've experienced the benefits. Now let's make them last.